Yes. So in the our last hour, we discussed about contemporary issues in business law. Under that, we discussed about RTI, Right to Information Act 2005. Then now next topic in this chapter is Information Technology Act. So what is this Information Technology Act we discussed? So it is basically the act gives recognition to the digital signature and maintenance of electronic records. So you may take the example of various things like all government platforms are now becoming online. All the services, like for example, now payment services. There are various payment services initiated by the government of India, like uh, Beam app, then various UPI mode of payment is there, Paytm, Phone Pay. Similarly, various platforms for education, Swayam MOOC online courses, that and all we have discussed. Then about the objectives of Information Technology Act, it is nothing but the meaning. If you see the meaning from there itself, you can create two objectives. One is maintenance of electronic records, and one is authorization, giving legal recognition to the digital signature. So, what do you mean by digital signature? Digital signature is nothing but instead of using the manual signature or instead of using the common seal of the company, you are using the signature electronically, which is more safer option compared to the manual signature, because digital signature is not that easy to forge, because it contains some encryptions, or some codes are assigned to that digital signature. That is why it is very difficult to forge that signature. Now you see the significance of Information Technology Act 2000 or IT Act 2000. First one, it gives legal recognition to the business and personal transaction carried out by the means of electronic data. So now we discuss the example of filing the IT returns. For that, income tax department portal is there. In that, you can log in or register yourself. Then there will be two option, that is file the return and to view the return. So here now the date for IT return is extended. Before it was November 30 for individual, now it is extended up to 31st December. So if you see, before there was a normal manual procedure was there. Now everything is online. Now you see the second point, it encourages electronic filing of the document with government authority. So electronic filing of the document, what example you can give here? Any example you can take for that matter. Suppose if you want any application, if you want to apply for any ration card for that matter, if you take the example of ration card, you have to apply online. There is a procedure, that is food corporation department is there. There you have to log in and register yourself, then you can apply for ration card. Similarly, correction in pan card, or application for pan online. So these are the things can be done with the help of online procedure. If you see, it results in electronic storage of the data in an effective way. So we talked about cloud storage. What do you mean by cloud storage? I told with the help of internet connection, we can store the data, that is e mode, or e mode of storage of data. For example, now Google Drive, there you can store your data, and it doesn't consume your phone memory or laptop memory, because in that e-cloud there is a specific storage limit is given. It may be 100 GB, 500 GB, or 1 TB, etc. Now, if you see the fourth point, it gives legal sanction to the electronic fund transfer between the bank and financial institution. Fund transfer can be done. Net banking system is there. There you can use the fund transfer, that is from bank to bank. You can transfer the fund, or from account to account also it is possible. That is, every bank maintains their own net banking system, and for that separate app is maintained by that particular bank. After the merger, now again app will gets updated and new features are also available. Or else you can use the common payment mechanism like ATM you can use, or other payment system or other electronic mode, Google Pay, that also you can use. Then it gives legal approval for keeping the books of account by the bank in electronic form. So we can also keep the legal document in electronic form. For example, now we discussed about DigiLocker. Here we can keep all the necessary document like a mass card you can keep, Aadhaar card you can keep, then a certificate issued by the competent authorities like income certificate. There you can store that certificate, and that is valid similar to that of manual certificate. So no need of carrying the manual certificate. For driving license also you can keep in DigiLocker. Yes. So that is the fifth one. Similarly, bank also keeps all its document in the electronic form. That is, all the significance are involved in IT Act 2000, Information Technology Act 2000. After seeing this, there is certain drawbacks in Information Technology Act that we have to discuss. So what are those drawbacks? So IT Act means only for electronic transaction. So it doesn't cover negotiable instrument. Negotiable instrument means all transferable instrument. It doesn't cover bills of exchange. There is the drawer, drawee, and the payee. So again, this is a transfer instrument. It doesn't cover check. It moves from one person to another. It doesn't cover. Then promissory note also it doesn't cover. So only related to electronic documents or electronic mode, that itself covers under Information Technology Act. Then if you see the second one, the act also fails to cover the issues with regard to the intellectual property right, copyright in particular. So anything which involves creation of human mind. So intellectual property means it's creation of human mind where human effort is involved. In that case, it doesn't come under IT Act. Why? Because there is separate act is there, that is intellectual property right is there, and WIPO, that is WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, governs all those rules. So under intellectual property right, there may be trademark, there may be copyright, there may be industrial design. So there are various things are involved under intellectual property right. Now, third point, if you see, the Act lacks necessary provisions for jurisdictional aspects of electronic control of the court and tax authorities in the country. That means, in short, you can say the IT Act gives the rules and regulation for common people. But if you see, for the government authority or for tax department, there is no specific provisions are involved. Then Act recognize only public key infrastructural framework for authentication of digital signature. What do you mean by public key infrastructural framework? That we have to understand. So now public key infrastructure framework means it covers all the things: storage of electronic data, transfer of electronic data, moving the electronic data from one person or one station to another station in the electronic mode. So everything comes under public key instrument. So it covers only that. Manual instruments are not covered. So these are the drawbacks of IT Act, and other drawbacks also you can add. Yes. So after this, if you see, there is a separate concept, that is digital signature. Digital signature means what? That we have to see. See this. Digital signature is a mathematical scheme for giving the authenticity for digital messages or documents. So, for example, QR code. We discussed about QR code. Quick response code may be given or barcode may be assigned. Instead of putting the signature digitally, it is signed. So now you can see in all the document there may be one sentence is given like this document is digitally signed and need not require any signature. Then it is an authentication mechanism that enables the creator of the message to attach the code that acts as the signature. Yes. So properly maintained digital signature are more difficult to forge than the handwritten type. This one we have already discussed because there is an encryption procedure are there. For example, now WhatsApp chats, if you see, there is an encryption, end-to-end encryption is there. It is not that easy to hack into WhatsApp system because it is protected by the code language. Yes. So these are the things you have to see in brief: digital signature. Then next concept comes computer crimes or cyber crime. So whenever we are talking about computer crime, so there are basically two things: either we use computer to commit a crime, or else the computer itself is the target of that particular crime. So both the cases we have to see. So most of the cases we use computer to commit the crime. So what and all cyber crimes are involved that we have to see. So what do you mean by cyber crime? Very important. Sometimes it is asked in examination for 12 marks question. So that is why now cyber crime we will discuss. Cyber crime is a criminal activity which involves use of computer and internet. In some cases, the computer may have been used to commit the crime, and in some other cases, computer may have been the target of the crime. So when and all computer may have been the target of the crime, suppose some bloatware or malware is installed in the computer. So what do you mean by malware? Malware is some software which is designed to interrupt the day-to-day function of the computer. So that is known as malware. Bloatware means unnecessary app is being that is built up in your mobile or in your laptop. So that is developer's app. That is known as bloatware. So if you see all the recent mobiles, wherein which there is no stock Android experience, in that what happens? There is a bloatware. So bloatware means that app is not necessary for you, but still it is there in that particular mobile or laptop, and you cannot remove that app. Yes. So now we were talking about cyber crime. In that major three categories are there. Type of cyber crime. First one against individual. How and all against individual cyber crime can happen. So see this type of cyber crime can take place in the form of cyber stacking. So cyber stalking means what? Cyber stalking means it is giving one kind of threat either expressly or impliedly with the help of electronic modes. So electronic modes, you can use email to give the threat, or you can use other WhatsApp, anything, any electronic mode, you are giving the threat. Because of that, it causes some fear among the party. Because of that fear, what happens? The party may commit some uncertain or unimaginable steps. Yes. So that is known as cyber stacking. And distribution of pornography. So this is also one of the major cyber crime in India. You know that is viewing of pornography is legal, but whereas distribution of pornography is illegal. So any pornography, including depiction of women and children, is punishable offense. Serious imprisonment is there up to 3 years, or fine up to 10 lakh may be imposed. That is about against individual. Then against property. Against property means, you see here, in this case, cyber world criminal may steal person's bank detail. So bank detail, some fraudulent call may come and they may ask your personal detail and they steal all your money. Siphon off or take away without permission your money. Misuse of credit card to make numerous purchases online. So that is against property, or personal damage is there in this against property. Next, against government. So against government, how and all this cyber crime can take place. It is also known as cyber terrorism. So cyber terrorism means you are directly hacking government website and you are proposing some anti-propaganda. So in that case, what happens? You are committing cyber crime against government. It is treated as cyber terrorism. In this type, criminal hacks government websites or military website, etc. So there are basically three types: against individual, against property, and against government. So after discussing these three major types, then we have to see what are the various cyber crimes recognized under the Act. Under the Act means Information Technology Act of 2000. So now first one, tampering with computer source document. What do you mean by tampering? Tampering means you are changing some computer codes or computer programs, or you are altering the computer codes or program. So all these things comes under tampering or altering the computer source document. Whoever knowingly or deliberately conceals, destroys, or alters any computer source code used for computers, where computer source code is required to be maintained by law, shall be a punishable offense. So computer source code, there may be various programming language. C is there, then Java, various things are there. So any source code if you alter, then that is also comes under cyber crime. Then for where you will file your cyber crime, that is there is one cyber cell. there you can approach, and if you are a victim of cybercrime, there you can file your complaint. Then second one, hacking the computer system. So what do you mean by hacking? Hacking means unauthorized interruption into the computer. That means some outsider is using some unfair means to get into your computer system. That is known as hacking. So see this, computer hacking is an intentional act of causing wrongful loss or damages or destruction or deletion or alteration of any information residing in computer resource with a view to reducing its utility or value or affecting it injuriously by any means. So hacking we cannot stop because all the hackers are highly educated and they know how to hack. Even though our computer system is protected with various things, still they will find a way to hack the computer system. So that is about second one, hacking with computer system. Next one is a cyber obscenity. So what do you mean by that? Cyber obscenity is a legal term which applies to anything offensive or to offensive to moral or very often equated with the term pornography. So again, this involves child abuse, child pornography, and a depiction of woman in the sexual abuse. So all these things comes under this one, cyber obscenity. So it corrupts the mind of the people, and as per the stat, most of the youths are addicted to pornography because it is easily accessible over the internet. So there is no strict guidelines is taken by the government. That is why anyone can access to the explicit content, and because of that, it may damage their mind and their thinking. So that is the meaning of this one. Depicting the woman, children engaged in sexually explicit act are punishable offense. That is third point. Next, fourth one, if you see, unauthorized access to the protected system. So unauthorized access means how you will gain the unauthorized access. By trial and error method can be applied. What do you mean by trial and error method? Suppose if you don't know someone's ATM password, in that case you are attempting numerous ways to get that password. So they know how to get the password, even if they know the last four digit of your ATM number. Then also what happens, they can easily get the ATM passcode. Without passcode also sometimes entire money is vanished from the accounts of the customer. That is also possible. Unauthorized access is an act through which someone gains access to website, program, server, service or other system using someone else's account. For example, if you see Facebook now, Facebook, there are many fake accounts out there. Fake account, someone is chatting by showing someone else fake, that is also possible. So these are the things we have to be very careful, because whenever we are dealing with social media, there is a most likely high probability that there may be a chance of fake account. So we should verify the authenticity of that particular account. Then only we should move forward. That is fourth one. Next, misrepresentation before the authorities. How misrepresentation before the authorities can take place? Suppose the authority issuing the digital signature, there you have to produce some valued proof. So if you show some misrepresenting, or you are showing some fraudulent proof, in that case what happens, it becomes misrepresentation before the authority. See this, for obtaining the digital signature from the controller or certifying authority, a person is required to submit the necessary information. So what is the necessary information? Suppose all that personal details of the that particular person, or the personal details, or the company details, location of the company, everything involved in that. Any person found misrepresenting or concealing any material fact from the certifying authority at the time of obtaining the digital signature certificate shall be a punishable offense. Yes. So this is comes under point number 5, misrepresentation before authority. Next, breach of confidentiality or privacy. So what do you mean by privacy? Privacy means away from a public jurisdiction. So you want some personal space. That is the meaning of privacy. See this, privacy is a state of mind when a person wants to be free from public interruption and intrusion. When your privacy itself is hacked, or some intrusion is being made into the privacy, so in that case it becomes a cyber crime. Similarly, confidentiality speaks about a situation where you are keeping some information secret until the person who has given that information allows you to give that information or say the information publicly. That is the meaning of confidentiality. See, this confidentiality speaks about a situation when important information is kept secret between two individuals until the person to whom the information belongs permitted to disclose it. Yes. So now there is one more point is given, use of digital signature for fraudulent purposes. You have to use all the signature, whether it is company document or whether it is personal document, only for normal purposes only. If you are doing any illegal activity, if you are producing some fake certificate, in that case it is not valid. So it is a offense. It comes under cybercrime, especially when you forge the digital signature. And if you see, there are various recent malwares, some of the famous malwares you may be knowing, like ransomware. Ransomware malware you may be knowing. So it affected most of the computer system. Similarly, there was before 15 years ago, there was one malware that is known as I love you. So you may search that in your browser, just type I love you, this one malware. So there you will get all the information. What is that? So usually they send one letter to your email, that is heading of that subject is I love you. So what the person will do, the person will open that email, and there will be one attachment. So attachment, as soon as you open that attachment, it writes, it overwrites everything whatever there is in your computer. That means it's one kind of virus. One kind of virus is a virus name is I love you virus. That was very famous in 2000. So now other virus also now became very famous. That and all you have to see other examples. Then offenses committed abroad. So this IT Act doesn't involve some of the offenses committed abroad. See, this section 75 of the Act deals with providing punishment to the person for committing any offense abroad if his or her act constitute an offense or contravention of any provision. Contravention means not following the rules and regulations of the IT Act. Any provisions of the Act involving the use of computer system, computer network located in India. If it is located in India, it is covered under IT Act. If it is not located in India, both is outside India, using the computer outside India, committing the crime outside India, in that case, it is not covered under this Act. Offences committed abroad. Then seizure or confiscation. So see this, if you are committing any act with the use of any mode, like if you are using laptop or mobile, so there is a one more section, section 76. There your the mode or channel that can be confiscated. See this, seizure of any computer, computer system, computer disk, or any other accessory related thereto can be seized. Then computer virus. What do you mean by computer virus? Computer virus is a computer instruction or information data or program. So it is like a normal software. In short, computer virus is like a normal software. But what is different in this? It is created to destroy, damage, or degrade or adversely affect the performance of computer resource. That is the meaning of computer virus. So you may be knowing of this spam folder. Spam. There are certain mails are there in the spam folder or junk files. So that is also one kind of virus. And email bomb. There is one concept known as email bomb. What do you mean by email bomb? Sending several emails, like more than 1,000 emails at once. Because of that, entire system crashes. So that is known as email bomb. So these are the things are there under this computer virus. Now next thing, cyber stalking. Cyber stalking means what? Cyber stalking means, we have already told about this, that is express or implied threat is given using computer mode. That threat may be given using email, Facebook, Twitter, website, mobile phone, or through the videos. So it becomes one more crime, cyber stalking. Yes, for example, you may be knowing the videos of ISIS and all. So they are sending the videos, they are promoting some anti-propaganda. So these are the things comes under cyber stacking. Next, cyber trafficking. What do you mean by cyber trafficking? Cyber trafficking means exchange. It is like a human trafficking. You are dealing in humans. Like cyber trafficking means you are dealing in computer to commit some fraud. Cyber trafficking essentially be understood as human trafficking that is committed with the help of computer network. These services ranges from forced prostitution. If you are using computer for promote prostitution activities, or you are using computer to promote child pornography, or you are using computer to deal with human organs, that too illegal in nature, human organs, suppose a kidney racket and all. So these all things comes under cyber trafficking. So these 12 points are covered under this one. Types of cyber crime. Main three types we have discussed, that is against individual, against property, and against government. But various types of cyber crime, if they ask in the examination, you have to write these 12 points. And in addition to that, if there is any other points also, you can add. And this chapter is very simple in nature and very few topics are involved. Only 20-25 page chapter if you see the textbook, wherein which IT Act is one thing and RTI is another thing, then cyber crime, and one more topic is intellectual property right. Only four topics, that is small in nature. So now next thing we have to see, what are the steps can be taken to curb cyber crime. So how cybercrime can be stopped? Whether it is possible to stop the cybercrime? It is not possible, but we can reduce the volume of the cybercrime. So how to reduce the volume of the cybercrime? First one, see this: not to disclose personal information publicly on website. See, all these things you know, there is no much to discuss because these are the things we do regularly because we all are using social media and we know all these things. Not to disclose personal information publicly on the website. So we give our personal detail and we save some passwords, personal detail in online site or various browser. So we should not do that because there is a high chance of misusing the information or leaking that information. We were using Zoom app before and all the personal data of the Zoom customer got leaked. So we came across various news. Like similarly, the Facebook news also came. The all the data of the customer got leaked. So these are the things we cannot stop. Now, second thing, avoid sending any photograph online, particularly to stranger. So now, what is our common hobby? We display, we put status, we put various pics online. That is WhatsApp. With the help of WhatsApp or Instagram, we put our photos. So we should not do that. We should avoid that because there is a high chance of misusing the photo. How photos are misused, you know, changing the face of the photo and using for other pornographic content. So these are the things we come across every day. So we should avoid that. Now, third one, not to disclose credit card number to any site. Not only credit card, debit card number, debit card password, everything you should keep secret. Then using latest and updated antivirus software to guard against virus attacks. So while coming about this one, antivirus, there are various antivirus softwares are available like Quick Heal. Quick Heal is very famous. Then K7 Security is there. That is also very famous antivirus software. It can prevent some of the virus, but it also should get updated because hackers are very smart and they change their the level of hacking every day. That is why these antivirus software are of not that use. It can prevent small type of attacks. That's it. Now, fifth one, keeping backup data to prevent loss of data due to virus attacks. That is why we have to make a backup. So for example, now WhatsApp chat, there is a backup option is there. So automatically it backup to your all the data and it gets stored in your internal storage. Similarly, whenever you are using the computer, you have to do the backup, reserve data, separate file you have to maintain. There you have to back up your data, or you have to store your data in some other mode. Suppose you are using two laptop, You have to store the data in another laptop. You have to copy the data and store it. Now, sixth one, keeping a watch on web traffic and checking any irregularity on it by the website owner. So you may be knowing the network chain link business. Chain link business, under that there is a Royal Holiday, the famous thing, chit fund. So these are the things we should avoid because they may be attractive at the beginning. At the end of the day, it may cause loss or damage to the individual. That is why we have to avoid these things. So these are the things covered under steps to be taken to curb cybercrime. Other important points, if you know, you can add to this one. And the next topic is intellectual property law that we have to discuss in the